Welcome back, Mitch here, and we're talking about the recent AI content ban that a lot of people have been talking about on YouTube. And it actually ties in. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, I'd love you to be. And I want to make sure I'm answering as many questions as I can. I had this question here on the automated podcast editing flow video from Rowan Chowdhury. He said, "G'day from Sydney. First of all, great place to be. I lived in Sydney for a long time. The podcast, so this particular video is around podcasting agencies and automating your summary notes. And basically the question was, any thoughts on Google cracking down on AI generated work and how it would affect AI automation? My first response to this is good, that they need to crack down on it. And secondly, I wish social media companies would crack down on crappy social media content as well, because it's everywhere. Something that actually gets me really mad, and I talk about this so much over the last few months, is what all ChatGPT and these AI models has really done is it's just made everybody sound exactly the same. And I actually lose respect for people who are simply relying on ChatGPT to do these long posts that you can tell are just not them, especially if you're a personal brand. By definition, ChatGPT and these large language models are designed to make you sound exactly the same as everybody else. They rely on the most predictable word to come up next time in order to produce the content. So of course, everything's going to look the same. And no matter what you're talking about, it can be totally different industries. The content still sounds the same. So what do I mean by that? I thought I'd just jump into ChatGPT and play a little bit to see. So in this particular post, I'm saying, generate a long LinkedIn post for, I talk about lead gen for agencies. This one is actually slightly better than the others, but you can still see words like this in today's fast-paced digital world. It's weird. If you go and look at the people who are talking about agency work, you will likely see that phrase everywhere. If we go down to another one here, and this is where it gets even easier to find. So in this one, I'm saying I talk to makers about their profession. So it's like crafting and so forth. Here, this particular sentence here is 100% the easiest way to determine whether someone is using ChatGPT. It's called a contrastive or a juxtaposing sentence, where whether you're a woodworker, a coder, designer, an artist, your craft is more than a profession. It's a calling that drives you to create, innovate, and inspire. It uses that all the time. And if you do take the time to read through all of these posts, here's another one about French language teachers, and we'll find this juxtaposing sentence here again somewhere. Here in number 4, our role extends beyond teaching. We are connectors. Like, it's this very strange way that it likes to write. And you see this time and time again, no matter what industry is getting written about. And it's the easiest way to show that you are using ChatGPT. So using these platforms themselves, you don't have any control over that. And if you're just going to post stuff directly from this platform with very little editing, then you deserve to be removed from Google, and you deserve to be removed from social media as well, in my opinion, but that's never going to happen. But that's exactly why I've been building my own content workflows, because the purpose of these workflows are to take it that step further, to make sure that you are delivering something that is higher quality. So for example, let me do a quick run through the blog post section again. We are putting in our brand, voice and title and so forth, our primary keywords. So we're priming it. And I've written about this in my newsletter. If you're not subscribed yet, head to mitchasa.com, you can sign up. But I have a framework that I follow every single time when I'm using ChatGPT, which is prime, prompt, and proof. So prime is giving the AI information that makes it unique to you and your brand voice and so forth. So giving it as much as possible to prime it and get it ready. Then the prompt itself is also another skill in itself. You could write some of those simple prompts that I was just showing on ChatGPT, or you could have a more templated version that follows the structures that works, which means you need to be a decent marketer first to actually create good quality work. And then proofing it. Proofing it is the most important part, going through and deleting at least 20% of the output from the AI because it just sounds ridiculous, and going through and changing some different words. The other part of priming is also giving it words that you don't want it to use. And sometimes it will follow it, sometimes it won't. So 100%, I think Google should be getting rid of as much AI content that isn't edited as possible. And I don't know how reliable these AI content detectors are, but I imagine that if we paste in one of these posts here from ChatGPT, it's going to give us this 79% human generated content, which means there's quite a lot of AI there. So that it's picking up things that have not been edited. Whereas if I look at a blog post that we have, and if I just take this blog post here, which we fed it a YouTube video first that was created by an interview, and then we put that into here, and let's see what this gives us. 100% human generated content, right? Because we're priming it with really high quality information by experts before we are asking it to write the blog. So that's all it takes in order to produce high quality work. Now, let me show you this flow again. So once we create now a blog post, for example, it produces this entire result here. And if you're looking at this dashboard thinking, what the hell is this? Is my own proprietary software that I'm building for our internal brands. I may sell it one day. If you're interested, let me know. But we're building out these workflows that have every single step that we would follow manually, typically if we were using ChatGPT plus all of these other AI tools. And then we're just combining them with make.com and other ways to produce really high quality work. So this is the AI version. So it's giving this as the first draft for us to go off and then edit. So I was like, okay, if that's the first draft, what's the next thing that I would actually do before I would begin to post it? And the second is adding different facts and claims. So what it does in that first automation as well is it looks up all of the claims that the AI has written, and then it provides me with questions that I can ask and go and research and identify to add into the blog post to substantiate those claims. So for example, here we've got aging dogs undergo physical and behavioral changes. That was written by the AI in the first version. So the question is, okay, what are the common physical and behavioral changes dogs undergo? Then I would take that question and I would go into Perplexity AI and I would ask it. And then here's what it gave me. It said these dogs undergo so many different things. And not only that, it's giving me references to where it's pulling this information from. So the akc.org is a highly respected domain. So I would definitely add in that reference in my particular blog post. So not only am I making the claim, I'm substantiating the claim, and then I'm providing the source of where that claim came from. That totally changes the game of what AI content is. No AI detector could pick this up because even though every single part of it is AI, we've just joined it all together ourselves. So there is a little bit of a human aspect to it, but it's still AI generated at the end of the day, but not in the way that most people are being lazy and generating AI content. So ultimately, I think the slap on the wrist from Google is absolute 100% necessary. There probably are a few occasions where people are getting caught up in this and they weren't using AI. Maybe that says something more about their own writing than it does about the actual AI itself. But the punchline is this. If you're going to be lazy, no matter what way you go about it, you're going to get penalized at some point in time. You might get away with it in the short time. So don't be lazy. Don't listen to these 20-year-old kids on TikTok telling you how amazing the latest AI tool is and how easy it is. You still have to do the work. You still need to learn the marketing fundamentals. You need to know what good copywriting is. You need to know what good content is. The world doesn't need more content, but it will highlight and accelerate and pump up good content because there's so much crap out there now, honestly. Yeah, I think it's a really good thing. It's very positive and it helps the people doing the right thing stay on top. And while people may take shortcuts in the short term and brag about some quick success, they're never going to make it in the long run. So keep that in mind, put in the extra effort, take the little bit of extra time, build proper systems, build proper workflows like this in order to make sure your content is going to be super high quality and you're not going to have any issues. Now, tomorrow I'm actually going to cover the same type of thing, but for social media posts, and where you can take one long post and turn that into dozens. I'm actually going to give you an example live where I turn it into 73 different high quality posts using that one long form piece of content to make sure that you don't end up with social media posts like this that are clearly AI, that are clearly ridiculous, that nobody really cares about. They're going to be really high quality. So make sure you stick around, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.